No other nation in the world has armies like the Romans, in which the soldiers are inspired by the love of their country and by the thought of the rewards they will receive. One day as a Roman legionary. The morning in the camp began before dawn. The cool air was filled with the scent of smoke and morning dew. The signal horn sounded, and Fabius Lucius, a Roman legionary, rose from his hard wooden cot, stretching to loosen his stiff muscles. In the tent, where he slept with 7 other soldiers, it was still dim. Around him, he could hear rustling and whispers as his comrades also got up, preparing for a new day. Fabius was an experienced legionary, having served for 10 years. He put on his tunic and leather sandals, then fastened his belt with his short sword, the gladius. As always, the legionaries started their day with training. Stepping out of the tent, he saw the sky beginning to lighten in the east, casting the camp in shades of pink and orange. The camp was meticulously organized. The tents were arranged in neat rows, surrounded by a wooden wall with towers and gates. The cohort's commander, Centurion Marcus Veranius, was already on the parade ground, overseeing the soldiers' preparations. Marcus was a stern but fair leader, respected by all his subordinates. "Formation! Assemble!" he ordered loudly, and Fabius, along with the other legionaries, quickly formed ranks. After a short warm-up, the training combats began. Fabius and his comrade Gaius Secundus fought with wooden swords, practicing their moves. Despite his years of service, Fabius knew there was always room for improvement and gave it his all. After an hour of intense training, the legionaries moved on to archery and pilum throwing, the throwing spears that were an integral part of Roman armament. The morning training ended, and the legionaries dispersed to their tents for breakfast. The meal was simple: bread, cheese, and olives, washed down with wine diluted with water. The camp was lively. Conversations, laughter, and the clinking of metal dishes could be heard everywhere. The legionaries were like one big family, bound by common goals and hardships. After breakfast, Fabius and his comrades went to their construction duties. Legionaries were not only warriors, but also builders. They erected fortifications, built roads, and bridges. Today, their task was to repair a bridge over a river near the camp. The work was hard and required great effort, but Fabius knew it was vital for the success of the Roman army. A well-built road could significantly speed up troop movements and supply deliveries. When the sun was high in the sky, the legionaries took a break. They rested in the shade of trees, talking and joking. Fabius reminisced about his home in Rome, his family, and his childhood. He dreamed of the day his service would end, and he could return home. In the afternoon, the legionaries returned to their training. This time, they practiced tactical maneuvers. The Roman army was known for its discipline and organization, and every legionary knew his place and role in battle. Fabius was part of a cohort, and they trained in forming a testudo, the famous Roman tortoise formation. It was one of the most renowned Roman formations, where soldiers tightly locked their shields, forming an impenetrable wall. In the evening, a messenger arrived at the camp with news. Fabius and his comrades gathered around the camp center, where the legion's commander, Legate Quintus Servilius, announced an upcoming operation. They were to move out to a city captured by barbarians and reclaim it for Rome. A murmur of approval and excitement ran through the ranks of the legionaries. They knew a tough battle lay ahead, but they were ready for it. Dinner was hearty and nourishing. The legionaries ate meat, fish, vegetables, and fresh bread. After dinner, Fabius sat by the fire with Gaius and other soldiers, discussing the upcoming operation. They knew a battle awaited them the next day, and they were preparing both mentally and physically. Night fell over the camp, and the legionaries returned to their tents. Fabius lay on his cot, listening to the sounds of the night. He thought about the next day, the battle, and his comrades. Sleep gradually overcame him, and he knew the morning would bring new challenges. Thus passed another day in the life of a Roman legionary, a day full of labor, training, and preparation for battle. Fabius Lucius was ready for any hardship, knowing he served the great Rome and protected its honor and glory. This is roughly what a typical Roman legionary's day looked like. Do you think you could have been a Roman legionary? Write about it in the comments.